Hi everybody, I'm Stuart McAllister with Dole Food Service, and I'm also serving as the industry rep on the Nutrition Committee, which is bringing you the session. The title of this session is From Southeast Asian Street Food to LA Food Trucks, and I'm really excited about this. This is going to be cool. Robert and David, brothers, are each have a fine dining chef background, and they went in very different paths. Robert is a regular guest speaker and instructor at the Culinary Institute of America programs in St. Helena as well as in Singapore. He leads chef culinary tours around Southeast Asia. He is a consulting chef on new Asian restaurant chains in Spain and Portugal. He has a James Beard nominated book and another book just released. David, not to be outdone by his brother, is the president, founder, and big cheese of the first ever and highly successful grilled cheese truck in LA. And this is the first time that the brothers will be on stage together presenting a feature presentation. So with that, we'll turn it over.
So this morning, as Stuart alluded to, we're going to take you on an adventure and take you through Southeast Asia to the streets of Los Angeles. So first, I'm going to kind of lead off as a taste of Southeast Asian food. To me, I'd like to show you a little bit of what's happening there, and then
we'll bring it from there, and what goes on is what my experience with Southeast Asian street food to what's going on in LA right now.
So street food. It's a topic that I love to talk about because it's what sustains me day after day for the months I spend over in Asia. And it's a multi-sensorial experience, right? Flavor, as we all know, is a culmination of all your senses. It's not just the taste. That's a really important element here. And we may even get to some debates while we're up here about, one thing is it's a social thing, which is a very important element. And why I think the trucks that are happening now are so successful, or one of the things, besides the quality of the food, is that it's this social experience, which is critical to the street food experience. You can hear the noise on the streets. You can feel the heat of the fire. It's everything. So I want to take you through some images that to me were special. Now these women, actually mother on the right is one of my students' mother, and I spent a while with them in Thailand studying some flavors. And they were cooking the satay. It was so simple. Beautiful piece of meat, grilled to perfection. And a lot of it is about these folks, marinated in coconut milk and turmeric and peanuts. This woman, talk about street food. Look around her. Take a moment to see the environment that she's cooking in. Now, we can't get away with that here, can we? And there's pros and cons to that, I think. But it's a very different experience. But the street is what it's about. So street food evolution. Let me tell you about street food evolution in Thailand. So the wandering hawker. First is the person that wanders around. Then they start setting up fixed locations, not very different than you're going to see as Dave explains. There's complementary offerings. So you have one style of food, a salad. Oh, wait. Then someone's going to park next to him that has noodles. Then someone's going to come up next to him that has rice. So you start to build a menu of a sort. And you obviously increase your probability of bringing a larger group of people. You think about these wandering hawkers. This is kind of the image, right? Person with the yoke over their shoulder. And you think this is, well, no. This is this past year in Vietnam, still walking through the streets. And you can see the one on the left, she's got her, I don't know, maybe cold kitchen on the right, hot kitchen on the left. Kopitiam is an open-air cafe in Malaysia where all these things are coming together. We talked to food court of a sort. And then they start to grow, where this is a 5-minute walk from my house in Melaka in Malaysia, one of the best food centers on the planet. Then this is Singapore's Lau Pau Sat. Singapore was the first place to take the food off the streets and regulate it. And then that. How does that look different? It looks a little bit more themed, doesn't it? This is inside Vivo City Food Republic, which is a court in Singapore, where it's not really street food, it's not even hawker food. They created this. It's almost Disney-esque. And I say that in a positive way. It looks nice. It's changed a lot, and it's a lot where we play, right? This is the world that we play. So it's evolved from here to brick and mortar, as we're saying, to actually, this is LA, to that. How did we get here? Well, that's Dave's job.
the street food that we have had mainly is developed in the cultural pockets, in the Latin pockets, in the Asian pockets, and it's more them trying to remind themselves of their past. The danger dogs on the bottom left, there is actually sternos underneath those they're called danger dogs. Sternos underneath a sheet pan where they are just cooking those that way downtown LA at 3 in the morning for you. The evolution, now that the cities have said, okay, wait a minute, let's make sure that this is going to work correctly, it's starting to evolve more and more. So now you've got these people that are, the worker bees that are stuck in the offices on Wilshire or wherever it may be, that are stuck with the 6 or 8 restaurants that are there that usually, or cannot be too healthy, and you're dealing with larger portions and this and that. So now you've got trucks coming in that are bringing different cuisines daily. I mean, sometimes the trucks on Wilshire, there'll be 15 different trucks on a daily basis there. So it's exciting for that. And they get access to it immediately with the social media part of it. They're coming to you, so again, the convenience is there, which is one thing that Americans embrace, to put it lightly. But this is good, wholesome food quickly as opposed to fast food. There's Roy's truck. The hot dog truck has grown up. It's been interesting. We were about the 30th, they call them gourmet trucks, I'll call them specialty trucks on the road. Flash forward, there's well over 250 trucks in LA alone. And I'm talking just the gourmet trucks. If you were going to, go to the health department and ask them about licenses and how many mobile vendors, there's over 8,000 mobile vendors in LA. To get into some of the reasons that I think when the economy went bad, people go to comfort food. And that's what, if you really take an overview and you look at what has done well, it's comfort food stuff, it is cultural following type food.
Dave, one thing I think is important is what we're seeing is, of course, now 250 plus trucks on the road. People think it's simple. From what I've seen to what he goes through daily, weekly, it's more complex than a restaurant.
And this is all just my opinion, but what has worked, again, comfort food, because it's just where we're at in the economy, and people, it just makes you feel good. And again, this is stuff that people are trying to be reminded of. Cuisine with a cultural following. Twists on classics. What I like to say with what we do is, we take their childhood memories and feed their adult palate, because again, we're not just doing American cheese on a grilled cheese. And again, street friendly. You got to be able to carry this and usually eat it on the curb, or show us the squat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Eat like that.
Like this. Again, my hat's off to Roy. He's really spawned a phenomenal, a phenomenon, period, as far as street food goes in this country, to the point where the big boys have now gotten into it, which I think really kind of solidifies what I was saying. It's not a trend. These people don't just go and buy, I don't know if, the middle truck there, that's a $240,000 truck. That's Sizzler. But when these people put something out like this, there's been more than, the thought and checking and rechecking and rechecking. So if they're getting into it, you got to figure this isn't a trend. This is staying. I tell you, one of the smartest things we've dealt with a university was UCLA had a renovation going on in one of the cafeterias, and legally they got to serve these students. So they brought the trucks in, and very organized, very scheduled, and there's 2 trucks a day sitting in this lot, and it worked great. For me, I want this industry to keep growing. So I'd be more than happy to speak with anybody on how this could work.
The grilled cheese truck is here. I understand it's arrived. And during the lunch time at 12:15, we'll be serving for the next 3 hours. So you don't have to come all at once. On behalf of Nate Cuff's Planning Committee and the Education Committee, we wanted to thank you with a gift to the Danhai brothers and really special talk.
Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you very much. Thank you.